to know everything. Who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but I like it's new what you're telling me.
Hello, Pelicans fans. Welcome to the next episode of State of the Pels. I am Chrissy Smith, and I am riding solo today. So happy to have everybody here with me for this. We've got a lot to talk about when it comes to our New Orleans Pelicans. I think the first thing we need to touch on is over the last 365 days, the Pelicans have won a total of 19 games. And if you would have told me that going into this season, I would have said, how many injuries do we have? What has happened to the team? Did some catastrophe happen? Did a hurricane hit and we can't have a season? Like there would just be no way that we would only have 10 wins on this season currently. And yet that's where we're at right now. Most recently lost to the Detroit Pistons at home yesterday. It was a pretty good game overall, but the Pelicans got out behind 13-0, and they were never able to get the lead or recover after that. So a lot of things to talk about here. I posted just something on Twitter earlier, and a lot of people they have a lot of comments and opinions on it, which is fair. The first one is, where's Joe Dumars? Where has he gone? Where is he? Can we hear from him at all? Is there any update on anything with this team in terms of head coach? Are we going to make Borrego the head coach? We just going to ride with an interim head coach all season long? It's not common to name a head coach in the middle of the season, but it happens. It's not unheard of. It's not something that can't happen. And when you've got a team that only has 10 wins, it's people are going to be wondering, like, where are we going here with this? Is Borrego the problem? Why isn't this very talented, mostly healthy team putting together any wins? Why can't we string these together at least every now and then? It's wild to see a team that's got this much potential, this much talent, athleticism, and we can't win a game. So it would be nice for Joe to come out and say, hey, I know I took over 9 months ago. Things are not going how we want, but here's what our plan is going forward. Just something. Anything would be better than just no communication at all. And speaking of communication, where is DeJounte Murray in his injury update? He should be coming back anytime now with that type of injury, with the Achilles injury. You are looking at a year of being out, but February next month is right around the corner. Like, can we just get any update? DeJounte looks great. He's posting on Instagram. He's mentally seems ready, prepared. Like, he's ready to get back out there. He's just ready to take over and show, what he can do now. And sometimes that's great. Like, sometimes you need a little extra motivation, which is an injury that puts you out for a whole year, a really tough injury. So can we get any update on that? Why is there just not much communication? It's frustrating because the fans are spending money and they're spending time watching the games, and yet it just feels as if that whole fan base is just kind of being left behind and forgotten. Like, well, thanks for the support, and we'll communicate with you when we're ready. And that just doesn't seem fair. It'd be one thing if this was a very injured team like we've had in previous seasons, like last year. But for the most part, everybody's healthy. We know Murray, we knew he would be out most of the season. Herb Jones's injury is got to be frustrating to him because he's definitely a difference maker when he's on the court. But he's really, struggled with that on and off. So we haven't had him too much. And then you've got your normal things. You've got Bryce McGowan misses a couple games. Jose Alvarado misses a few games. Carlo's out. You have stuff like that. Saddiq Bey was out for a little bit. Those are normal. That's going to happen in any season when you have 82 games. You're going to have those little blips of injuries, not anything like season ending and whatnot like Murray had last year. We've got a healthy Zion. We've got a Zion that's played almost 20 games in a row, and we're not winning. Why isn't this working? Why do we have Trey Murphy putting up these he's playing the best basketball he's played. His numbers are, they're phenomenal. Why do we have him out there? And we've got two of the top 3-4 rookies in the NBA this season, healthy Zion, Saddiq Bey, who's having, a great year. Why can't we win any games? What is the problem? Now, I'll tell you, if you had to tell me, put it in one word, I would say it's defense. the defense is just so lacking. I don't know if these guys are being held accountable. I'll tell you yesterday, okay, for example, in the Pistons game, Pelicans start out 13-0. Borrego calls a timeout. I wish he would have called the timeout when they were down 10-0. You go down 13-0, calls a timeout. The defense, there was no defense. It was just like, oh, the game started. Did anybody even recognize that the game had started? You got 5 starters out there, the typical guys we've been having out there. So they go back in after the timeout. Defense completely changes. Zion steps up. I mean, you can see him. He's in the paint. He's battling. He wants the boards. He's in there. He's working. All the difference in the world is what it makes. You watch the whole game go on. There's some effort there from some of the guys. Sometimes it's just complete laziness, or, sometimes they're going under a screen on a shooter. You have to go over the screen. You can't go under on that. Just like you're kind of wondering, like, where's the assignment here, and what are we doing? What is this? What you're supposed to be doing? Did you just make a mistake, which is going to happen sometimes? But then I'll tell you what was strange in the fourth quarter. Although they were trying to make a run like they had been the whole game, you had 5 completely different players in there than the starters, including you've got Jordan Poole. Looney is in the game. It was just like, either we can't figure out this lineup, or none of the lineups are working, but there's some disconnect. Something is going wrong where a team like this cannot at least put together more than 10 wins so far on the season. So you hope that there is a vision, that there is a plan, because you see a team like the Pistons, who 2 years ago were one of the worst teams in the league, and now they're one of the best teams in the league. And you think this could be the Pelicans, right? We've got enough talent and players in the future with these rookies. Even Micah Peavy, he plays defense. I love it. I love when he gets minutes. So what is the combination? Is it a coaching issue that doesn't see what's going on here? Is there someone that could come in and say, I can fix this because it's not that big of a problem? But when this is just, it's frustrating. And I'll tell you something, obviously this isn't what I do full time for my job. I just, I was a sports editor in the past. I played basketball in college. I really have just grown to love this Pelicans team, and seeing where, the ups and downs that they've had, and really want the best for them. And I see the potential. I see what could be there. But I'll tell you one thing, in my full-time job, I am able to see the ratings for every single Pelicans game that's on Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. The ratings are through the roof. The ratings are beating every other show that is on television short of an NFL playoff game right now. You've got 30, 40, 50,000 people a game watching from their home, wherever they're watching the game. They're watching this. So you have fans that are engaged, even with 10 wins on the season. You have got fans who care and they want to watch. They're probably not going out and spending the kind of money that could be spent if this team could win. Even yesterday, there wasn't many in the Smoothie King Center. I want to say maybe 5,000 is what you had there. It's a Wednesday night, I get it, but you still got a lot of star power on the court, and it's not bringing in what needs to happen. So it's just frustrating. It's frustrating just having all these questions as fans and reporters and, people that are also involved. You've got people that are in the Pelicans organization. Imagine, I think about like their marketing teams and the people that sell the tickets there and all. And it's like, it's not just about the players and wins and losses. Like, there's a lot of lives and impact that goes on when you have an NBA team in your city. And we just would like some hope, because look at like the Saints season, for example. Everyone knew it was going to be a rebuilding year. Nobody had high expectations for them. But there is a buzz and an excitement and a hope around that team now, because we've got our quarterback in Tyler Shuck. We saw a lot of positive things as the season went on. We've got the new head coach with Kellen Moore. There's positivity around it. And it's feeling so bleak with the Pelicans. There's none of that around there. So what do we need to do? What does ownership need to do? I don't know if it is bring in a head coach, or name Borrego the head coach if you don't think he's the problem. I honestly don't know what the problem is. I will tell you one thing that I think is a problem, and I was excited about it initially when we brought him in, but Jordan Poole is so unserious about this team. he doesn't even take pride in it. It's just fun and games for him, I guess, collecting a paycheck. And he's taking almost trick shots, trying to throw alleys when you're down on the road. When there's no alley there, you have a wide open layup. If I'm coaching, you're going to be on the bench for several days now after that. I'm not putting you in the game if you don't genuinely want to try to help the team win. Like, I get that the season's over, there's no playoffs, but it still matters. It's still important. If you have no pride at all in how you look on the court as a whole, as a team, as an individual, then what are you doing out here? Just sit the bench and, cheer for everybody that does care at all about this team. So, man, it's tough. It's tough right here. I mean, going into the season, you guys know I predicted 45, 50 wins for the season. I did not see on paper how this could not happen with the talented squad that is the New Orleans Pelicans. And I feel bad for the guys that do really care, because, they're just like, we're better than this. We know locally, like, we know the talent, and we see it, and we love the guys for it. I mean, you got Jose Alvarado. I mean, his heart and soul's on that court every time he plays. So these rookies, they care. They've got a future. They want that. Trey Murphy, he's always wanting to get better. I'm sure it's killing Herb that he's hurt and can't be out there. And then you got guys like Saddiq Bey, who their career is doing something they probably did not expect at this point in their life. So there's so much good to it, but somebody's got to figure it out. So, not to be all doom and gloom, but I'm hoping that there is going to be an answer soon. Maybe something will happen by the trade deadline that will kind of invigorate this fan base and this team, and finish out after All-Star break, whatever, and maybe finish on a high note like the Saints did. Give some hope around what could be next season. We'll just see. But I just had to check in and let you guys know my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on it. Everybody's got an opinion, which rightfully so. So hopefully things are going to pick up. I am always looking on the positive side of things. And so I do at least know we don't need to rebuild the team because we've got the talent there, but it's time to really get serious about what does the future entail and who do we need here for that? What pieces do we need and what do we need to let go of? So anyway, let me know. You guys can message me anytime on Twitter or X, whatever you call it. I'm also on Instagram too. So just hit me up and we can chat about Pelicans anytime you guys want. I love doing that. And until then, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.